Hello, children. Are you ready for today's story? Put away your toys and any distraction, and make sure your ears are ready to listen. Let's take a deep breath together and get ready to discover something amazing. The fiery furnace. In a land called Babylon, there lived three young men named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They weren't from Babylon, they were from Israel, but they had been taken far from home to serve in the palace of the powerful king, King Nebuchadnezzar. Even though they were in a new country with strange customs, they loved and obeyed God with all their hearts. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar had an idea. He said, "I'm going to build a statue, the biggest statue the world has ever seen." When the statue was finished, the king announced that everyone must bow down and worship this golden statue when the music plays. Anyone who does not bow down will be thrown into a fiery furnace. The furnace was like a giant hot oven. Soon, the music played. Loud drums, flutes, harps, and horns filled the air. People all over the land, thousands of them, dropped to their knees. Three young men stood tall and still. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would not bow down to the golden statue. "We only worship the one true God," they said. "We cannot bow to anything else." Some of the king's officials saw them and ran to tell the king. "O king, didn't you say anyone who doesn't bow should be thrown into the furnace?" Well, those three young men refused to bow. The king was furious. "Bring them to me," he shouted. When they stood before the king, he asked, "Is it true you did not bow? I'll give you one more chance. If you bow, good. But if not, into the furnace you go. Then let's see if your God can save you." "We don't need to defend ourselves," they said, looking the king in the eye. "If you throw us in the furnace, our God is able to save us. But even if he doesn't, we will still never bow to your statue." King Nebuchadnezzar was so angry his face turned red. "Heat the furnace 7 times hotter than normal," he roared, "and tie them up." The fire blazed so hot, and the soldiers tied up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and threw them into the furnace. The fire was so powerful, the soldiers who threw them in were burned just by getting close. The king sat back to watch, but then he jumped up in shock. "Didn't we throw 3 men into the fire?" "Yes, O king," his officials replied. "Why do I see 4 men walking around in the fire, and the 4th one looks like a son of the gods?" The 4th man was God himself, walking in the fire with them. "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, come out," the king shouted. The 3 young men walked out of the furnace, completely untouched. Their clothes weren't burned, their hair wasn't singed, they didn't even smell like smoke. King Nebuchadnezzar was amazed. He said, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. No other God can save like this." Then he made a new law. No one is allowed to speak against their God, and the 3 friends were given new positions of honor in the kingdom. Whenever you face something scary or hard, remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The same God who stood in the fire with them stands with you too. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share your lessons with your friends. I will see you next time for another fantastic story.